Good morning, everyone. Ray here with 𝘵𝘱𝑔𝑜𝑣𝑟𝑛𝑚ENT Consulting, doing another little tutorial video. I apologize in advance if my voice sounds a little bit funny today, battling just the remnants of a cold, so please bear with me as I try and get through this today. If you haven't seen it, GSA did announce that they're planning to release the next mass refresh sometime this month, June of 2025. A couple different changes in there. One of the most significant ones that's going to impact a lot of you is that TDR, or Transactional Data Reporting, is going to become mandatory for all product SINs. So I did think it was probably beneficial to say, what is TDR and what does that look like? Quick history on TDR, real briefly. It was a pilot program introduced many years ago, and what they did is instead of reporting SIN total, you're reporting based on line item details. And instead of doing that every quarter, you're doing that every month. And that report is due 30 days after the month has ended. Your IFF is still due every quarter, so 30 days after the quarter ends is when your IFF is still due, but the report is done monthly. Because GSA has recognized that there is a burden to the vendor on doing a monthly report, they did make a trade-off and said, we'll get rid of your most favored customer and your price reduction clause in your commercial sales practice. If you're not familiar with what the most favored customer or the price reduction clause is, a lot of people kind of joke and call it essentially the GSA gets my best price no matter what clause. It's a little bit of an exaggeration. There's definitely some nuances to how those two clauses work. But essentially that's a pretty decent way to explain it, I guess. So with TDR, GSA is no longer going to track, did you maintain a level of discount with your most favored customer and GSA? So essentially that means if you have another customer who you're selling your product to below your GSA price, that's okay. So definitely a big trade-off there. I think we all understand that in today's marketplace, there are times when other customers are going to get a better price than GSA based on a lot of different factors. Who the customer is, their loyalty to you, how much they're buying. Again, all those things were ways you could make it work with your price reduction clause, but we're just taking away that burden on this. So let's get into how do we do a TDR report. You're going to log into your SRP, your sales reporting portal. Mine does have a lot of different vendors listed on here, so I'm not going to be able to show the entire process, but I'm going to show you as much as I can. You're going to click the drop down for reporting and come down and hit download template. I do recommend downloading a new template each time you do this. It does change every once in a while, and if you don't have the latest template, the SRP will kick it out and say that the file is not accepted. So I downloaded one, and I actually pre-filled it out with a lot of the different sample products that I have. If you've seen any of my other videos here, you know I kind of have a mock-up of a product listing for GSA, a fake one, using different movies and some things that are in my collection. So let's go through what this report looks like. If you're one who just prefers to read directions, you can click on Mass Instructions, Mass again meaning multiple award schedule, and you can go through all the different fields. It's going to tell you what they are, what kind of limits are in the fields. If you're a visual learner, keep watching this video. I'm going to show you everything you need to know. We're going to do mass data. Most of you, if your product, you're going to be on the mass data field. So that's what we're going to focus on today. Your contract number, this is the one that's assigned by GSA. So it will be the same because it's your same contract number. Your order number, this is going to be the one that their customer has provided to you. Not every customer does. Maybe they called in their order, emailed it in, faxed it in, whatever that may be. I'm not really sure who still uses a fax machine, but I'm sure somewhere out there is someone using that archaic technology. If you don't have one from the customer, your internal order number or invoice number is what's going to go here. Basically, you want to be able to track this, so that if GSA has a question, they say, hey, you sold T3 Terminator 3 on this order number. Can you pull it for me? And you're able to. Your description, this is, again, just a general, doesn't have to be the full 1,000 characters, but you want something that matches it. Manufacturer name and part number and unit of measure. These are all directly from your GSA catalog. This is now where we get into the specifics of that line item. Your quantity sold, your UPC, you don't have to do it. That one is an optional field, so if you don't have one, just leave that one blank. We're not going to use NA for this field, we're just going to leave it blank. Your SIN that's awarded to that part number, your price paid per unit, and your total price. Again, obviously now your price per unit times quantity should equal the total price. The nice thing there is you can do a quick sum and see, hey, we sold $33,620 last month. here's where it gets a little bit funny. Non-federal entity. If this is a federal government customer on that line item, it's going to be NA, meaning this is not a non-federal. A little bit of a weird double negative there, I think, but that's how they've done it. If it was a co-op purchase, you're going to use SCP. And remember, in your quarterly report, you were taking the SIN 511130-ST/LOC. That gets replaced here with this. Same with your disaster purchasing. It's going to be SDP. Federal customer, I'm going to recommend leaving that one blank. I'm just going to be honest with you. If your system can handle putting these 2-digit codes for every single opportunity or possibility here per customer, sure, go ahead and do it, but it's not a required field. You can see there are 99 different options. Again, not a required field. I would leave it blank for now. Order date, ship date, and the zip code you shipped it to, also optional. If you can do the order date and ship date, I would probably put it in there just for the sake of having it so you can see, hey, we shipped this within 2 or 3 days. Make sure that you're meeting that lead time each time. Doesn't hurt to have it in there, but again, these fields from M all the way over to P are optional. Couple things with this. This report, like I said, is due monthly. It is due 30 days after the month has ended. So your May report is now due by June 30th. Your IFF is still paid every quarter, so no changes there. You are able to pay that every month if you choose to, but it's not officially due until 30 days after the quarter has ended. When you deal with a small number of products on here, a small number of orders, you might think it's easy to do this by hand. I would say set yourself up for success, though. What happens when you have 100 orders in here and you don't want to waste your time entering 100 different line item details on here? So if your computer system, your ERP system, can generate this report for you, that's really the most ideal. With that, when does TDR go live? So the mass mod should be out sometime this month, unless there's a delay. Once you accept the mass mod, you then have to go into eMod and hit participate in TDR as another modification type. Once that modification is awarded by your contracting officer, the following quarter will become TDR for you. So that means if you have all of this done before July 1st, effective July 1st, you will be on the TDR path forward. If this is something that's going to take you a little while, you need this report built, it's going to take a little while for your programmers or your computer company to go through that, I would say accept the mass mod early, because we all know that the COs start after like a week or so saying, hey, you need to accept it, or we're not going to do anything else for you. So go ahead and accept the mass mod, but don't do the TDR mod until July 1st or after, because then you won't go TDR until the following quarter. So you buy yourself 3 months to kind of work on getting this report figured out. Once you have this done, the upload process is really simple. You're going to log back into SRP, click on report data, click on the month you're reporting for, and just drag and drop this file right in. And it's going to tell you if there's any errors in it. If there are, it's going to tell you what those errors were and ask you to fix it. Again, I can't really show you that because my login has too many other vendors in it. But if you run into any trouble or you want more of a detailed walkthrough, reach out to me. It'll only be a couple minutes. It'll be a complimentary phone call or a web sharing, screen sharing thing, and I'll walk you through that first upload. Again, a lot of people are a little bit leery of, do I want to go TDR? Do I not want to? Do I want to be giving GSA the information? What I do like to remind people is this is all stuff that they have access to anyway. They can ask for it at any time. Obviously, the difference is you're volunteering that data to them. But I do think that the trade-off of not having a price reduction clause is well worth it. It just makes sense in the way that the marketplaces work today. So again, that's TDR in a nutshell. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out anytime. I'd love to walk you through it. Thanks, have a great day, and I'll see you next time.